Hi, welcome to Bruce's Garage. I'm Bruce and this is my garage. Yesterday I had a great opportunity to attend P&S training on how to install their new ceramic coating, Inspiration Stout. And I'm super excited to share with you what I learned and to give you a demo of how to install it properly on this new Tesla that I have right behind me. So come on in and let's have some fun. Well, thanks for joining me in the garage today where we're going to talk about Inspiration Stout. This is P&S's new ceramic coating. It's got 5 to 7 year reported durability. Pretty easy to apply, but you need to follow certain instructions that I'm going to walk you through. It is usable on any surface except glass. So unlike other coatings where they're very specific, in some cases around you can apply it to glass, you can't. This is one of those you cannot apply to glass, but it works wonderfully on paint, trim, and wheels. So they encourage you to use it for all those surfaces. It comes in 30 ml and a 50 ml bottle. I'm using a 30 ml bottle today. You can see it comes in this nice pack. And they do give you a full applicator and a label for your customer or yourself on the information about the coating. There is, if you're a pro installer, there are warranties available and you can go at inspirationcoating.com to get information on that. And of course, I'll have links for all the products below in the description. I did buy this coating myself. I paid for the training myself. So this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. It'll be the first time that I'm using it myself other than what we did in the classroom. So now we're going to talk about just what you need to do to install, and then I'll give you the installation demo. So as with any coating, the preparation is the key. I'm not going to go into details of all the prep steps. However, those preparation steps are we want to wash the vehicle, do a complete decontamination, make sure it's thoroughly clean. We can do a chemical and mechanical decontamination, which means let's make sure that we're using a clay bar or a clay towel to decontaminate any contaminants that remain on the surface after you've washed. You can also use iron remover for that iron fallout decontamination. And lastly, after that, we go to our polishing step. Now remember, the importance of polishing is all about getting that paint looking its best before you seal it all with the coating. So you want that paint surface to be looking really clean, really shiny. Minimal defects, obviously. It's never going to be perfect, but you want to get it looking really nice so that when you do ceramic over that, you're sealing that success, that beauty, that gloss in while also providing UV protection, hydrophobic protection, chemical protection on the surfaces that you protect. So the last step after we've polished, and we've already polished this vehicle, it really didn't require much of a polish. I basically just did a one step with a white pad using a finishing polish in an effort to boost the gloss. There were not really many defects. There is one set of scratches on the vehicle from a minor accident that obviously we can't correct for in the work we're doing today. But the paint looks great. So now we're ready for the panel prep stage. So for panel prep, of course, I'm using the P&S Paint Prep Paint Coating Surface Prep. I believe it's very important to always use the prep spray from the same manufacturer as the coating, because you know then with certainty the two are fully compatible because they've been tested. If you use another panel prep, what you don't know is it fully compatible? And probably in many cases, it's fine. But in some cases, it may not be. So I always use the same manufacturer prep as I do the coating. That way, there's no question whatsoever about the coating and my preparation work. So the next thing we'll do is we're going to spray this onto the painted surfaces or any of the surfaces we're going to coat, which today is really the paint. And then we will let that dwell for 30 seconds and then wipe that off with a clean microfiber towel. So they suggest you let it dwell for 30 seconds and then wipe. And that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. So before we get started, we're going to make sure that we have the proper protection. So we're going to protect ourselves. Always wear rubber gloves that are chemical resistant when you're installing a coating or frankly working with any chemicals. You also want to make sure that you have good ventilation in your work area or wear a respirator mask if you need to do that, because these coatings again are not meant to be inhaled. So let's get started with the panel prep. So with the panel prep, essentially, I'm just going to spray again liberally on the surface. Let that dwell for about 30 seconds. I've got a clean microfiber towel here that then I can just wipe over the surface. And remember, the purpose of the panel prep, it's that final cleaning stage that's going to remove any oils or anything that's remaining from our polishing step. Maybe there's dust that's accumulated since we polished. But all of that, it's our last step before we coat. And you really want to make sure that the vehicle is ready to accept that ceramic coating, because you don't want anything impeding the coating from adhering and connecting with the painted surface or your coated surface. So I'm going to go and finish doing panel prep all around the vehicle, and then we will get started with applying the coating. Okay, well, I have completely done panel prep on this entire vehicle. So we're now ready to apply Inspiration Stout. Step one with all coatings, make sure that you shake it up appropriately. You really want to make sure these coatings are shaken well, because you need all those ingredients to be mixed. Again, you don't want to shortcut some of these little things that can actually have a big impact on how effective the coating is. We're going to apply it on our applicator. Now, one of the things I learned yesterday was you got to really saturate this pad, a lot more than probably I've done with other coatings. So they recommend really saturating all on the pad, especially your first go around. So when you're priming that pad, so you can see here, I've got it pretty saturated. Then I've got 2 towels for the leveling. All right, so basically I'm going to pick a fairly small area to do this. And you'll see that I am going to just make a box and coat the inside of that box. And the reason I'm doing a fairly small area is because this coating flashes very quickly. So essentially you put it on, you take a leveling towel and immediately level, kind of in the same direction that we applied it. Take your second microfiber and then circular motion. And as Sydney said, really rub it in like you mean it. So this is where you really want to make sure that you're leveling. And I'm going to tell you what, you feel it. I mean, it is immediate. I can tell where I've coated and where I haven't, because I get a lot of friction when I go beyond the area that I've coated. And I really have like very little friction where I just coated. Then, of course, I can do a quick check and just look to make sure I didn't, I don't have any high spots or anything here. Looks really good. I'm going to keep going down this panel. And again, you just have to apply a few more drops to the pad, and then you continue down. So I want to apply, again, just a little bit more coating to my pad. And then I am going to, again, pick a box here. Immediately take my leveling towel. Going beyond where I coated, because I want to make sure I'm not pushing any coating over that I'm not leveling. And follow that up with my second microfiber, where I'm using circular patterns, rubbing it like I mean it. Again, adding a bit more coating. My initial level. Again, going beyond the surface that I coated. You can flip that if it's getting a little too wet, because this coating will be wet when you level. Then my second microfiber. Again, my full circular motion. And I'm telling you, on this white car too, I will tell you, it's hard to exactly see where I've coated, where I haven't, but I can feel it. So if you forget, again, I can tell you up here, there's a lot of resistance. Right here, there's no resistance. But you want to be methodical in how you're applying so you don't miss any spots. I always like to just double check. Make sure that I'm not seeing any left, coating that's remaining, any of those solvents. Don't worry, even though you're wiping off what you think is a lot of coating, it's really the carrier solvent. So the coating is already cross-linked and bonded with that clear coat. The key to being successful with stout is making sure that you have enough coating on your applicator, apply it in a small enough area so that you can then immediately level with your 2-towel wipe. That is essential. You do not want this to dry on the surface. You will probably have to polish it off. So you have to be quick, and you will feel the slickness and you will see that gloss, and it will only get slicker. Now, one of the cool things with Stout that was deliberately designed was to provide the customer or yourself with fairly quick results, or this return of seeing gloss and slickness right away, as well as increasing within an hour, so that you're not having to wait 3 days, 5 days later to see the beauty of the vehicle. When the customer comes to pick it up, they'll see that immediate glow, and that just is a wonderful way to present the final product. All right, I am just about done with applying Inspiration Stout to this entire vehicle. I have this front driver's door to finish, and then I'm going to inspect the vehicle, but that should be everything that I need to do in the coatings. I will get the doors open and do all the door jambs as well. I like to do the door jambs because that's always kind of a pain in the butt to clean. And so ceramic coating gives you a lot of benefit in terms of cleaning. It's not only protection, but it allows you to clean so much easier because dirt just doesn't stick as much. Bugs, grease, that kind of stuff is just very easy to remove. And then drying becomes a breeze. So let's talk about aftercare with Inspiration Stout. So what happens, when can I wash it, etc. So the vehicle can leave your shop, your garage, wherever, within about an hour minimum. You should not wash it for 48 hours with chemicals, but after that, you're okay. If you can let it sit in your shop longer than an hour, that's great. It just allows additional curing before being exposed to any natural elements. You can also top it with Inspiration Defender from P&S, which is an SiO2 spray. Overall, I would tell you this is super easy to apply, but here's the key. So you have to make sure that you are leveling right away. You do not want to allow Stout to dry on the surface because it's really stout and you will have a difficult time removing it. So plan your space accordingly in terms of what you're going to cover and coat, and then how quickly, so that you can get back to level, rather than some of these coatings that have 1, 2, 3, 5 minute, 10-minute flash times where you can coat a much larger area and then go back and level. In this case, you can't do that because you really need to level immediately. My only complaint about Stout is the lack of instructions. So had I not taken the class yesterday, I would not know all of these things I just shared with you, other than if I could find some YouTube videos. And Sydney's done some YouTube videos, I think, with on the P&S YouTube page, as well as the Rag Company's YouTube page. So you can certainly check those out as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned about Stout. I'd appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you find my videos helpful. I've got some other videos on ceramic coatings that I'll put a playlist up here for you, because there's a lot of different topics in my ceramic coating videos, and I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments and support. And as always, just remember, go have fun in your garage. Have a great day.